This unit is one of our telescopic stackers fitted with a drum rotator. It's powered by air, so you plug in an air line to this side of the box here. This is suitable for Zone 1 use, so it's fully EX rated. It also has a Zone 1 weighing system with an independent Zone 1 battery. So what we're able to do is lift the drum to 2.6 meters, and then we can rotate the drum via this hydraulically operated gearbox. First thing we need to do is plug the unit into an airline. So we've already strapped the drum in the head, and then we'll plug an airline in and start to lift. The airline should have a quick connect coupling on, so we can plug it into the side box here. The airline is now connected. Now to lift this unit, we have an operate button. So we press this operate button and you'll hear the pump start. As soon as the pump starts, we pull back on the lift lever and then the drum will raise. As soon as we've raised the drum to the correct height, we're able to maneuver the unit around. We have rear wheel steering on this, so it's very easy. The drum that we've got at the moment is full of water, so it weighs about 200 kilos. But you can see here with the rear wheel steering, it's very easy to maneuver around. So we push it to the vessel or the mixing tank we're looking to load, apply the brakes at the back of the unit. Now we're ready to rotate, check we're in the right position, and we do the same thing as the lift. We press the operate button to start the pump, and then we push the rotate button. You're able to rotate the drum full 180 degrees if you want. Once the mixture has been poured out, we bring it back into the vertical, press the operate button. Then, when we want to lower the drum down, we can press the operate button and push forward on the lower lever. On the back panel we also have an emergency stop. If we press this, we can stop the lift function. Now we're going to show you how to actually put the 200 litre drum into the head. This rotator head, it can do lots of different types of drums. So you can adjust the arms in and out, we can adjust the circumference of the clamping band, and we can adjust the rim clamp up and down. So you could even do like Mausers, all the plastic range and the steel range. First thing we need to do is set the height of the band. So we want the band to be in about the mid position of the drum. So we've set that height. We now wheel the unit so the band goes around the drum. At this stage, if you're operating on level ground, it's good not actually to put the brakes on, leave the brakes off. So when we clamp the drum up, it can float around and just set its own clamping position. First thing now is take off the ratchet strap here. We close the front doors and we loop this triangular ring onto the lug on the band section. We now want to tension the ratchet strap up. We hold this one, this is the tail of the strap, in your right hand and pull that so it's nice and snug. Then we can tension up the ratchet. The ratchet doesn't have to be too tight, it just needs to tension it until you start to see the drum deflect, and then that's tight enough. Doesn't have to be tightened excessively. The next thing is the rim clamp here. This is adjustable in height for different sizes of drums, and you have a slot in the bracket And this allows us to bring it into the side of the drum, hold it up underneath the lip. Then we fold over the rim clamp at the top, hold both of them together with one hand, and then spin down the wing nut. We just tension that again, nice and comfortably, and that's the 200 litre drum secured in the head, ready for lifting. Now I'm going to show you how to release the drum from the head. So the drum's now placed on the floor, so it's on the floor or on a pallet securely. Take the strap again in your right hand, pull the inside of the ratchet lever and bring it out towards you, keeping the lever, the inside lever, pulled towards you, and move all the way around till it releases. Then you can let go of the inner lever, and if you then pull the ratchet, that gives you all the slack you need to disconnect. We then unhook the triangular ring, and that stores on this peg on the arm, keeps it off the floor. And the next one is our rim clamp. Again, hold this up, undo the wing nut, and fold that one out of the way. We can then, because the arms can pull in and out, we just give ourselves a little bit of slack, and that allows us to actually bring the rotator away. Right, we're now going to show you how to adjust the clamping head to suit this 60 litre Mauser. So currently it's set on the biggest diameter for the 200 litre steel that we've just lifted. First thing we need to do is close the arms up a little bit. So you just pull hold of these handles and just bring the band assembly in. We now want to shorten the distance between the pivot points, and this is done by undoing the band at the back and then overlapping it into the next hole position. There's various holes on this back band. You might be able to just about see them here. So what we're going to do is disconnect from this one, shorten the band and reinsert the lugs into these two holes, and then put the R-clips back in. Now on the right hand side, this is the free pivot, and the gearbox side won't move where this one will. So what we want to do is we keep hold of the right hand band section with your hand. So you support this with your hand, take out the R-pins, disconnect, and then move it up to the first set of holes for this sort of drum diameter. Hold the band together and put the R-pins back in. That band circumference is now set for this small drum. We might want to just open the arm up a bit, just so we've got enough space to get it in. For the purpose of the video, I'm just going to churn this drum into the head. So we grab hold of the drum, bring him into the head. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the ratchet strap on and clamp it nice and securely. So we close the two doors at the front of the unit. We take off our triangular ring there. We put it on the lug on the front door. We can then tension the band by pulling the spare slack out with your hand. So keep this ratchet strap in your hand, and then we just simply ratchet the tension. Again, as soon as the drum starts to deflect, that's enough tension, and we can park the ratchet out of the way. Our next adjustment is the rim clamp here. So we need to set the height of the rim clamp. So we take out the R-pin. We keep this in our hand when we remove the pin. We slide it down in the clamp to the correct height. We then reinsert the pin. Now if we're going to tip a lot of these drums, we don't have to keep taking this pin out. We just leave it in the same position. We then can hold this up underneath the rim, bring the clamp up, slacken off the wing nut so it goes inside the drum there, then we can just tighten it up. That holds the drum nice and secure. So that's the steps you've got to do, and the sequence is the same for different sizes of drums. The important thing is to try and get the pivot in the middle of the drum. You can extend the band, we can adjust the rim clamp, and we can tension the ratchet. So let's lift this drum up. Press the operate button. Then we can rotate the drum. The sequence to undo the drum out of the head is the same for the 205. Undo the ratchet strap first. Again, hold it in your right hand. Release. Give ourselves some slack on the band. Unhook the ring and place on the hook. Then hold up the rim clamp and just disconnect the butterfly screw. Open up our arms and away you go. We're now looking at the Zone 1 weighing system fitted to this stacker unit. So we have an on button here to switch the display on. You have a 0 button here. There's a full manual supplied with this, so there's lots of functions. You can tar the contents. So also the display is fitted on this swivel, so we can actually swivel the display so the operator can see it from different positions. It stores neatly out of the way there. Now this system runs off this battery pack. So this is an EX rated Zone 1 battery pack, and this is a hot make connector. So when the unit needs charging, first thing we do is switch off the power. We do this by keeping this button pressed. Comes up with off. Unit's now powered down. Move this out of the way, and this is the hot make connector. So there's a button on top here. We press the blue button. That ejects the connector, and then the connector can actually be turned slightly to the left, and then we remove the plug. This plug then stays with the unit. There's a blanking cap there, can go on, and this can sit down on the panel. Then there's a blanking cap here, that clicks over, and then we remove the battery pack. The battery pack has to be charged in a safe area. So this is removed from the Zone 1 department, and there's a standard mains battery charger that we actually connect into here. When the battery is fully charged, we bring it back to the unit, place it in the rack, open our dust cover, take our plug here. Now on the plug there's a little red arrow there on the side of the plug, and on the left hand side there's another red arrow. We line those arrows up, push the connector in, turn it clockwise, push in until it clicks in place. As soon as the blue lever goes over, that's locked in place. We can bring our display back, press the button to switch it on, and it'll just go through now a slight setup procedure before we get all the zeros. Where all the zeros there. Should that meter read 0.1, we just press 0 to 0 the scales. We're now looking at the rear control panel. First thing always to note is the emergency stop button. If we press this down, that stops the functions. That's lift and obviously rotate. To reset, we turn it to the right and the button pops up, and the system is now live again. Now this is a two-handed operation to do the lifting and rotating. The first thing we do is press the operate button. We keep this pressed all the time and you'll hear the pump running. Then when the pump's running, we can pull the lever back to lift, push it forward to lower, and the same for the rotation. Push forward to tip and then back to return the drum to vertical. So first thing is power up the pump. Press pull for lift. And the same for rotation. Press operate. Rotate. Rotate back.